Far above a wide and peaceful wetland, where tall reeds whisper in the wind and the water shines like a mirror, there lived a crane named Sora. Sora was a beautiful crane with long legs, gentle eyes, and wings wide enough to carry him across great distances. Every year, when the air began to turn cool and the leaves slowly changed color, the cranes would gather together for their long journey across the sky to warmer lands. The cranes were known for flying fast and strong. When they traveled, they moved like a great arrow across the sky, each crane beating its wings in rhythm with the others. But Sora was different. Sora liked to fly slowly, not because he was weak and not because he was lazy. Sora simply enjoyed taking his time. When he flew, he loved to glide quietly through the air and look down at the world below. He watched rivers winding through forests like silver ribbons. He noticed animals moving through the tall grass. He saw little villages where lanterns glowed softly in the evening. To Sora, the sky was not just a road to somewhere else. It was a place to notice the beauty of the world. One morning, the cranes gathered beside a great lake to begin their migration. The leader of the flock lifted her wings and called out, "It is time to fly!" One by one, the cranes leapt into the air. Their wings beat powerfully, lifting them higher and higher until they formed a long, graceful line across the sky. Sora followed behind them. At first, he kept up easily, gliding with the wind, but soon the cranes began flying faster and faster. A young crane named Tico looked back and noticed Sora drifting behind. "Sora," Tico called, "you'll never keep up if you fly so slowly." Sora smiled gently as he glided through the cool air. "I will get there," he said calmly. "Just a little slower." The flock continued forward, and soon they became small shapes far ahead in the distance. But Sora was not worried. He simply continued his steady flight across the sky. As he traveled, he noticed many things the others had rushed past. He saw a family of otters splashing in a quiet stream. They chased one another through the water, rolling and spinning like playful dancers. Sora circled above them for a moment, enjoying the sight. A little farther along, he noticed something else. A tiny duckling was paddling nervously near the edge of a marsh. It kept turning in circles and calling out with soft, worried quacks. Sora glided down closer. "Hello there," Sora said kindly. "Are you lost?" The duckling nodded and looked around anxiously. "I can't find my family," the little duck said. Sora lifted his head and looked across the marsh. Because he was moving slowly, he had plenty of time to search the water carefully. Far away, near a cluster of reeds, he spotted a line of ducks swimming together. "There they are," Sora said warmly. He gently guided the duckling across the marsh until it reached its family. The mother duck gave a grateful nod. "Thank you, traveler of the sky," she said. Sora dipped his wings politely and lifted back into the air. By now, the flock of cranes was far ahead, but Sora did not rush. He continued his slow journey across the sky, watching the world below. As the afternoon passed, the sky began to change. The bright blue faded into darker shades of grey. Large clouds gathered near the mountains ahead. Thunder rumbled quietly in the distance. Because Sora was flying slowly and observing everything around him, he noticed the storm forming long before he reached it. He circled once in the air and looked toward the path the other cranes had taken. They were flying straight toward the storm. Sora called out with a loud, clear cry that echoed through the sky. "Storm ahead! Fly lower!" Some of the cranes heard his voice and turned their heads. The flock's leader saw the dark clouds and realized Sora was right. "Follow him," she called. "Quick, down to the valley!" The cranes turned and followed Sora's path toward a wide valley between the mountains. There, the wind was calm and the air was peaceful. High above them, rain poured from the storm clouds, but the flock stayed safe below. The cranes landed beside a quiet lake to rest. Young crane Tico asked how Sora saw the storm so soon. Sora said flying slowly helped him notice the clouds forming. The cranes rested until the storm passed. When the clouds finally drifted away and the sun returned, the flock rose into the sky again. This time, they stayed together more carefully. As evening came, the sky filled with stars. The cranes flew through the cool night air, their wings moving gently in the darkness. Some of the younger cranes began to feel tired, but Sora had spent so much time observing the land that he remembered the rivers, forests, and hills they had passed. He helped guide the flock by the shapes of the world below. "Follow the silver river," he said, "then the dark forest, and after that, the wide grasslands." Step by step, they continued their journey. By morning, the cranes reached their warm winter home. Golden marshes spread wide. Fish shimmered in shallow water, while tall reeds swayed gently in the warm sunlight. The cranes landed by the water. Tico told Sora he once believed the best flyers were always the fastest in the sky. The flock's leader nods. Sometimes moving slowly helps us see what others miss. Sora gazed quietly across the wide sky. "I never meant to fall behind," he said softly. "I just didn't want to miss the world while crossing it." The cranes stood quietly for a moment, thinking about his words. From that day on, the flock understood something important. Flying fast can be useful. Flying strong can be helpful. But sometimes, the crane that flies slowly is the one who sees the most. The world is full of small wonders waiting to be seen. Sometimes we simply need to slow down and notice them.